All right, so this morning we had a bit of a philosophy rant, right? You know what I'm saying? So I am in another period of existential dread. Not the usual kind of like, what's the purpose in life? No, like I think I kind of have a purpose, but also I don't really focus on that much, on that part as much. But mine is more so in the scope of curiosity, right? I am no longer religious, so like you can't give me any kind of God has a plan for you. Like I don't want to hear that, right? And I don't think that humans need to have religion to have a purpose in life. In fact, that's contradictory to the purpose of life, is to live for something else that you can't even comprehend. So aside from, I'm not going to get to religion in this one specifically, but I think my dread, my periodic dread, comes from the fact that I know that I will never be able to satiate my curiosity for existence, right? Because one thing that I've said a couple times before is that I wish I could watch humanity unfold like a TV show. You know what I'm saying? If I could be in creative mode like in Minecraft and just watch from Mesopotamia, you know what I'm saying? The first civilization or whatever, and then watch it in like seasons all the way up until not necessarily recently, because I was there, right? I was there, right? But up until maybe like the middle of the 20th century, right? If I could watch, maybe not in full year spans, because that's a lot of years. Maybe, summarize into like 10 seasons. Well, yeah, 10 seasons per era. You know what I'm saying? From because the Ottoman Empire, bro, Mongolian Empire. Imagine that in like, a decent show. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that as a Netflix original, an HBO Max original. You know what I'm saying? Watching these shows in chunks, being like, wow. And like, I'm talking about like, the bad stuff. Yeah, that's all. That's how you learn. You get to learn. The bad stuff comes with the learning. You can't just avoid all the pillaging and the Genghis Khaning. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the population of the world has like 1% chance to Genghis Khan, right? But it's like, you gotta watch that stuff. I'm not saying I want to. I'm not saying I want to. I'm just saying that's part of like the learning process. I'm saying I want to learn humanity. I want to see the innovation happen in real time. Well, it's not real time because it's gonna be a TV show, right? It's gotta be a TV show. You gotta cut stuff down. You gotta edit stuff. You gotta make it summarize. But I want to see it. So my thing is, I wish that I could watch. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm over here, but I wish I could watch the world unfold in a way where it's like, wow, humanity did not even that won't really satisfy my entire like curiosity for existence, right? Because like I said before, like I said the first time at the beginning of the video, right? I said that people usually, when they have existential dread, they're usually worried about like the purpose in life. I care about that. Like I think I have mine, kinda. I'm satisfied enough with my current purposes that I'm not worried about a purpose, an ultimate purpose in life. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, and this is probably not a specifically religious question, or not a question, but like a specifically religious sentiment, where people that are religious feel like they have a purpose in life, or that they don't have a purpose besides following their God, which is like, okay, that's okay with you, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like for most people that are non-religious, you don't need that. In terms of like, I had a video a few months ago where I said that people that are religious think that people that are non-religious don't have any kind of purpose in life. They have no goals or whatever. It's like, my mom sent me a text, but take my ashwagandha because I'm neurodivergent. Okay. Anyways, I might cut that out, might not. It's a raw video. We're going raw, right? So I'm also making some honey butter toast. Shout out Outdoor Boys, you know what I'm saying? Honey butter. Don't judge my honey setup. It's just a jar of honey. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm, a bear or some shit, right? Anyways, I think my purpose in life right now is, because I feel like people also mistake the idea of purpose in life for like an ultimate life purpose. Actually, no. I think there's two types of ways people do that, right? So I think some people do look at the grand scheme and be like, what is the point of all this, right? And that's very fair. That's what I got into philosophy for, to think about that stuff. It never scared me. It never like made me worry or anything, but it was just like, wow, we're really just here just because. Like, I am not necessarily afraid of that. I'm not afraid of death. I think most people are afraid of death. I'm only afraid of dying, of being killed, I should say, right? Because in all, like, okay, I'm not saying I'll die right now. I'll be fine. I'm just saying, like, the idea of it, like, I'm not worried about it. Not some kind of invincibility stuff. I'm saying, like, some people are afraid that they don't know. I don't know. I'm agnostic. I don't know, right? And it's like that stuff. As a newly deconstructed person, this is against religion. I kind of want to avoid that, but it's just like it's a segue, right? But as a newly agnostic person, I do still have a somewhat potent, well, at least present, I shouldn't say potent, but present fear of hell. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's weird because as someone that no longer believes in that stuff, I should not have that anymore. And that's a very shared sentiment among people that are newly deconstructed. Anyways, so back to my topic, right? My existential dread is more of like the whole, I have such a ravenous curiosity, ravenous hunger for knowledge that I will never be able to, I will literally never, like, I don't care how much studying of the world, how much library time I spend, how many things I look up on YouTube, how many videos I watch from Vsauce, from Hank Green, I will never be able to understand, let alone like comprehend. Let's say I could practically, theoretically, right, learn everything there is to learn about the world, I wouldn't be able to comprehend it. My brain would not be able to fully like contain the things that I want to learn. Basically what I'm asking for is omniscience, you know what I'm saying? Even omnipresence in a way, right? Because if honestly, your thought, is omnipresence low-key just omniscience? Well, no, in a way, right? Because if you're everywhere at once, you could literally know everything at once, right? Because if you're in the future and in the past, because if you're omnipresent, you're in every time. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm not the most philosophically educated person. I just like talking about it. I don't take classes on it. But you know what I'm saying? So if you're omnipresent, what time is it? Okay, I got time. If you're omnipresent, could that theoretically mean you are also omniscient in a way? Because I also had a question that I asked a few months ago as well. If you are omnipotent, or people are correcting me, it's omnipotent, not omnipresent or omnipotent. Nigga, I don't care. I'm saying omnipotent because it sounds better. If you're omnipotent, wouldn't you technically also have omniscience? Because knowledge is power. That's a very human equivalent for that, right? I guess. But if you're omnipotent, wouldn't you also have omniscience as a result of you being powerful? Because if you lack in knowledge, you could technically be not powerful in that aspect. So you technically have to have omniscience to have omnipotence. And people disagreeing with me. Not that I think I'm the most correct person ever, but I'm saying my understanding of it made sense to why it would be like that, right? And obviously, we can't really prove omniscience or omnipotence in any type of way. But it's like, I'm watching hot still. But if you are omnipotent, right, and omnipresent, I'm over here now. If you were omnipotent, you know what I'm saying, and you were everywhere at once, you would technically also be omniscient, right? So that's why I say that if I was omnipresent, I think I'd rather be omnipresent than omniscient. Well, because realistically, again, like I said, the same thing in a way. Omniscient is more like you know everything, but it's like the thing is about omniscience. This is also off the dome. This is all off the dome. ADHD brain, pre-ashwagandha brain. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I'm thinking right now is off the brain. You know what I'm saying? So if you are omniscient, how do I say this? If you are, let's say you're just super smart now. If you're a human and you're super smart, you would be, by human standards, omniscient. I'm obviously exaggerating, hyperbole, you know what I'm saying, hyperbolic with this stuff. But if you are a really, really, like, imagine 50 Hank Greens in one brain. Well, Hank Green versus plus any smart person ever. You know what I'm saying? You still would not be omniscient, right? You would just be you'd be beyond, you'd be Brainiac, right? You'd be Brainiac from The Flash. You're from DC. What does it matter, right? You'd be a Brainiac, literally. But then you would like not be able to witness it. You would know it. And if anything, you could create something to be able to experience that, like a TV show, like I was saying earlier. But it's like, if I'm omnipresent, I don't have to, like, this is probably a really selfish take, I guess I should say. where I wish I was the one that would be able to be stupid alarm went off and cut the video off. So I'm going to combine these two clips in CapCut now. Apple's dumbass, bro. Anyways, I was gonna make a sandwich, but I might not. Whatever. So you're literally watching me get ready for work, by the way. I'm wearing this shirt, but I'm not wearing the shorts I'm wearing. So I don't want to tell you that. Anyways, so where was I, bro? Yeah, it's kind of a selfish take to be like, I wish I knew everything. I wish I could watch. Like, I don't want to be omnipresent or omniscient just for like nosy reasons. I don't want to snoop on people. I want to watch humanity unfold. I want to watch things be innovated and created. I want to watch the ups and downs of everything, right? There's a lot of things that I don't want to see. So maybe I don't want to be omnipresent. If I'm biblically omnipresent, right? Then maybe I don't want that, because that would also mean, because like I guess I kind of have to include religion in these talks. When I'm saying omnipresent, I have to compare it to something, right? And you know what I'm saying. So if I was omnipresent, I'm not at least claiming to be I'm not claiming to be benevolent. I'm not claiming to be all powerful. So at least I wouldn't be morally wrong. I would just be there. Like, I would just be a fundamental thing in the universe. I wouldn't really be the cause. I wouldn't really be the depending factor on if things go good or not. I would just be there. I'd be like gravity. If I was as present as gravity is in every situation, that would be okay. But there's so many things in human history that I wish I would not want to be around. So maybe can I be like kind of present? You know what I'm saying? Can I just be like moderately present in human history? Like, I don't want to see it. Can I just, again, that's where the ego comes in, right? Because I kind of just want to be where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a difficult one. Because there are things that I like that I don't want to see. A lot of things in history that have happened. Like I said, before I recorded this one, right? I was talking about Genghis Khan. I don't want to see a lot of that. In terms of, but I also did say I have to see the bad if I want to see the good, or if I want to learn all of it. I have to be willing to learn to watch the bad. And this is not me saying I want to see the thing that Genghis Khan did to create his genome in 1% of the population in the world. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, in order to learn, you have to learn everything. You can't be picky and choosy. So I'm gonna have to redact my point about me being like, I want to pick and choose this part. I literally cannot do that according to my own criteria. Maybe since it's my criteria, I could just do it. Hopefully you can hear me over my banging my cup, serving my coffee, right? It doesn't make a difference. It's literally right there. But yeah, so this is like a quick little morning rant. This is honestly the most efficient rant I've done in a while. About 6 to 10 minutes of ranting, philosophical ranting. You know what I'm saying? Not even just purposeful ranting, not just me saying things. I try to do this. The thing is with me, my best rants come when I have no access to not necessarily access, but my best ideas come when I can't really record my TikToks, right? Bro, it happens also just because like when you're sitting down the most and having the most time to think, you're probably at work, you're probably in class, you're in driving or whatever, right? So you probably don't have the most, because like if you're at home, you're probably doing something specific, you're probably relaxing. You're not really thinking specifically about, it depends on who you are, right? For me personally, I get my best ideas when I'm driving or when I'm sitting at work, because you're sitting there staring off in space, you know what I'm saying? So you have your best ideas when you're not supposed to be recording stuff, right? So I can't just blurt out what I'm talking about in the middle of my job. I'm working in an office, bro. It's dead quiet in there. If I was a security guard, maybe. If I was one of those teachers that would just sit in the classroom and work and had TikToks all day, you know what I'm saying? I could do that too, but I don't do that. I sit in an office building. So, but yeah, like, I wish I could watch humanity unfold like a TV show. Maybe not necessarily like Grey's Anatomy type of shit where it's like 300 billion seasons, but maybe like 50. I could binge a 50 season humanity show, right? Like Game of Thrones is I just started Game of Thrones last week. I haven't really watched episodes since last week. I'm on episode 2 maximum. I just basically the last thing I saw was Queen Targaryen. I only know her name because of the Queen of the House of Dragon show, and they kept saying her name. So, but the blonde lady, she got her horse gift, and she had to arrange intercourse with Aquaman. So, yeah, maybe humanity has some PG-13 version, but also it's like humanity. But you can't maybe a historically more polished version of humanity, because that's a lot of humans are bad, bro. Humans are really bad. Like humans really disappoint me in every way, and don't mistake my chipper attitude for joy, right? Do not mistake my vernacular. Do not mistake my tone right now for joy, because this video is literally about existential dread and why it's giving me such a hard time right now, because I can't know all this stuff. I'm saying it as if I'm being imaginative right now, right? And that's kind of like numbing the pain in that way, right? Where I'm like, oh wow, this is so cool thinking about it now, but once I leave, once I stop recording, bro, it's gone. I can't do that anymore. So yeah, I mean, thank you for joining me on my rant. I could go on for a lot longer, but I do have to go in less than 10 minutes. So keep thinking, think for yourself, be your own person, all that, you know what I'm saying? Thank you.